Let's continue our conversation with Joe Lestingi, Democrat political strategist, and Republican strategist Phillip Stutts. So, Joe, the race card again. Is this going to help Democrats?
Well, I don't think this helps or hurts anybody, except it does, coming from Congressman Clyburn, who has dealt with this his entire life, does cast sort of a dark light on a truth none of us really want to accept. I mean, racism still does exist in this country, and had this been a president that so happened to be white instead of black, it could have been different. But I don't think that's the main reason for the discourse in the presidency. But it is, to ignore it and say that it doesn't exist is a falsehood.
But to give it such prominence now, look, it can exist, but by the same token, the election and the re-election of President Obama speaks volumes about race relations. Phillip, I'm going to let you in on this.
Yeah, no, this is a scare tactic. It's really saying that blacks aren't smart enough to make their own decisions, that we have to scare them. Look, Tim Scott is a Republican United States Senator elected in Mr. Clyburn's home state. Nikki Haley is an Indian American who was elected governor in Mr. Clyburn's home state. In Louisiana, where Senator Landrieu went off, Bobby Jindals won re-election and election twice by blowout margins. He was elected to Congress in a seat David Duke ran for. To say that these are still issues that are on the forefront of these states and these voters is absolutely ignorant.
Well, of course, we got the midterms today, but people are saying this is also a preview of 2016. A name topping that list for the Democrats is Hillary Clinton. Take a listen to what Megyn Kelly of Fox News has to say. I'm sorry, we do not have that, so never mind. Everybody knows Hillary's the front runner for the Democrats. A minute left on 2016. Joe Lestingi, 30 seconds for you, then we'll let Phillip finish up in the final 30 seconds. Go ahead.
This is my favorite part about midterm elections is the excitement building up to the presidentials. We're going to roll right out of this, right into a presidential. I think we get our first major announcement sometime between Thanksgiving and the second week of December, when people are done talking about the midterms and Christmas is just starting up. And I think we're going to see some big names come out. If Hillary runs, the Democrats have a little bit more clear field. Republicans, who knows who comes out of there. I'm going to default to my friend across the aisle on that one.
All right, Phillip, you got about 25 seconds. Go.
Sure. I'd say that this is not a mandate for Republicans coming out of 14. It's a vote against Democrats. So the Republicans are going to have to come out with an agenda. The good news, JD, is we have a great bench of smart policy
You got it. No shortage of talent, that's for
sure.
sure. Here's a new Newsmax election preview, congressional race in New York.
When voters in New York's 11th congressional district head to the polls on Tuesday, they must decide whether to keep their congressman, Republican Michael Grimm, or replace him with Democratic challenger Dominic Recchia. It might be a difficult choice for some, considering the incumbent is currently facing a 20-count indictment, which includes tax fraud and hiring undocumented workers at his Manhattan restaurant. While the challenger is being slammed in the media for comments he's made that make it seem like he has no grasp on politics. Grimm's legal troubles and the bad press he received earlier this year for threatening a reporter when he thought the cameras weren't rolling should have given Democrats a straight shot at taking the seat. Yet Grimm is leading Recchia in a recent Siena College poll 44 to 40%. The reason analysts say is because Recchia's campaign simply never took off. It did little to go after Grimm for the indictment, and time again he's been caught off guard by reporters' questions. In one instance, he said heading up a student exchange program would give him the experience he'd need to handle foreign affairs. And then there's the time Recchia was asked during a debate about the last book he had read. He couldn't name one. But then again, neither could Grimm.
For the latest on this contest and really all of the races, go to Newsmax.com and